By the end of the year, when I finally walked away, I had lost, monetarily lost over $100,000. Hey everybody, Randy here with Stay Broke Business Consulting. Welcome to day 6 of building $1 million business in 1 year. First, let's start off with the point of this whole series and going through this extra effort to record everything is to try and be honest and, almost show an inner dialogue of what I go through and what I think about on a day-to-day basis while trying to build or run a business. This morning, Saturday morning, it was my day to try and sleep in a little bit. Usually I struggle to make it much past 7, but today I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning as usual, and my brain just going a million miles an hour, thinking about the commitment that I'm making and what it means for not only me but my team that's been with me and the new people that I'm bringing in, and of course what it means to my family and what that's going to look like. Kind of doing a check with myself to make sure I'm being honest with myself about why I'm doing this and what I'm trying to achieve. It's been a little bit since we've started a new business or got involved in another big project. A couple years ago I bought into another business and I thought I was taking advantage of an opportunity, but turns out I was kind of being deceived, and with that, it was my fault because I didn't do my due diligence. I got excited and didn't want to miss out on an opportunity and didn't do everything I know that I'm supposed to do before agreeing to be in business with somebody else or getting involved in somebody else's business. I was okay with it because I knew it was my fault, and I'm always of the mindset that I can still fix it. Like, I can still make this work. I can turn it around. But what I wasn't taking into account was the effect that it was going to have on my team and my family over the next year. By the time we figured out what was going on completely, we were a few months into it, and we had went all in on being involved with this business. And my team and my family both, they trust me wholeheartedly, and they follow me, and they believe in me that if I'm doing something that I know what I'm doing. And I kind of let this one get away from me and went a little too far with it. I don't know, pride or ego or just that mindset of I can fix this. And by the end of the year, when I finally walked away, I had lost, monetarily lost over $100,000, which didn't really matter. I mean, it was terrible, but that wasn't the issue. Like, it was cleaning up the mess of the people that trusted me and trying to repair what I had done as far as stretching them out, stretching them thin, because the whole time through they never gave up on me. But by the end, like, they were all but begging me to get us out of this mess. So I had to suck it up and move on, take the financial hit, and then spend the next year and a half trying to build that trust back and make sure everybody that went through that with me was taken care of and knew that I'm still the right person to follow, and that our goal for stability and all these other things that I promised to my employees and my family were still the main focus. So with that, I made a promise not to get involved in any big projects or start a new business for at least a year. And during that time, I really focused on our utility company and some of the stuff that I've talked about, like focusing on our policies and our procedures and making sure that the people that were there didn't feel abandoned and they knew that I was still a part of it and the one with the vision, but also the one there to support and make sure that I was keeping us on track and putting the things in place to make their jobs and their lives easier. We made a lot of changes over, the last year and a half in the business, and they have all worked out absolutely fantastic. But there was a lot of risk involved in that. But now we're out the other side of it, and our Granite Construction Services is running better than it ever has. I have the lowest level of day-to-day involvement that I've ever had. But more importantly, the morale and the energy and everything in the company is just fantastic. It's positive and everybody seems to be happy, and we haven't been this way for a while. So now making sure that I'm keeping us on track to maintain this and continue to help everybody grow that has stuck with me through the ups and downs of the different projects that I've taken on. We really took our time before launching this new business, the Stay Broke Business Consulting, and there was a lot of conversations with my family and my team to make sure we're all on the same page and I have everybody's support, and there's no doubt, because if there's any doubt in this, then it wouldn't have been the right time to do it. But now, the level of excitement and the motivation I see from everybody right now is super encouraging. But when I woke up, at 6 o'clock this morning, and I'm thinking about this idea that I just went from starting a new business that we were all excited about to adding this extra pressure of, documenting every day and having a goal of $1 million by the end of the year. Like, I just needed to check in and make sure I'm doing this for the right reasons. Because I can't ever seem to do anything just to do it or just good enough. I always have to try and go above and beyond or overachieve, or I don't know, prove something, but I don't even know what I'm trying to prove yet. I guess I'm trying to figure that out and work through that one. It's not even about the money. I don't know, the $1 million idea, I guess that's our hook, right? That's the grab people and bring them in, build our engagement. But it's also because I work with all these small businesses, and I have friends that own small businesses, and I watch them struggle and always asking me, like, how we built what we built and how we bring in the revenue that we do consistently, while they're just trying to really make a paycheck to support their family. And for some reason, it seems like in society we've put so much emphasis on the amount of money you make and what you bring in, and it seems like this idea of $1 million is just so magical. At the end of the day, for me and my family, it doesn't matter really how much we make out of this project. We're comfortable. I don't need a lot of fancy stuff. We have a new property that we bought. we're working on trying to hopefully over the next couple years turn it into what we want, but I don't need to take on this new challenge to make any of that happen. Really, my life would be easier if I would just quit chasing the next achievement and just slow down, be the operations manager of my utility company, take a paycheck home every week, and just continue to make sure that's the best company it can be. But I tried that, and that's just not what fulfills me. Now I got to see if I can continue the growth of that company and continue to make it all it can be by relying on other people to fill my shoes. And right now that's working, and that's awesome, and that's why I have the freedom to take on this new challenge and this new project. These are the things that I have to keep in the forefront of my mind when I'm making these decisions, and putting all this pressure on me and my team is that it probably affects me the least. It affects the other people that are trusting me the most, and I need to make sure that I'm being a good leader and keeping them in their lives, their mental health at the forefront of what I'm doing, because I can always go out and make more money doing a lot of different things, but the amount of time and effort I've put into building a team that I can trust and count on, like, that's something that would be hard to replace. So I got to make sure that they're happy first. And then also my family, they put a lot of trust into me. They like watching me do this stuff, but I think it's because I try and include them in it and make them, a part of it, especially my kids. I want them to see what it takes to do what I do and the possibilities that you have if you put everything into what you want to achieve. So I don't know what this next year is going to look like, how it's going to turn out. All I know is I'm motivated and I'm excited. My team and family are motivated and excited, but I really just got to make sure that I'm staying aware and checking in with them regularly to make sure that doesn't change, because if it changes, then I really need to reevaluate everything. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments, like, if this is the kind of stuff that you want to hear about. I don't want the whole channel to turn into a bunch of sappy rambling out of my brain, but like I said earlier, the whole intent of this is to give real insight into what I'm doing on a daily basis. And anytime I find myself doing a menial task like lawn mowing, which I just got done doing, I spend a lot of time just thinking about where I'm at, and sometimes I think about the past, and sometimes I think about goals, or sometimes I just come up with new ideas while I'm doing it. But this is what I've been thinking about for the last hour, and thought I would just share a little bit of that insight. So like I said, comment below, let me know what you think, or let me know if you've had similar experiences. I'd love to hear about them. But help us out, like, follow, subscribe, continue to tune back in, give us your feedback, and remember, stay broke.